Welcome back to Factorio running the SpaceX mod under extreme settings. We still have made no actual launch progress, and we're still on space construction, though a bit of time has passed since the last episode. So much, in fact, that if we take a look at our map and go over to Copper in the Way, you will see that it's completely bare. We've completely exhausted it, which is both good and bad. Good in that it was in the way and we want to go through. Nothing can get in the way of our train line, but bad obviously because down here in this network, which we can quickly jump to, that's that network, you will see that there is no copper plate, no copper ore, absolutely nothing, and so all of our production of well, everything has come to a complete halt in the main base. Not in the little baby starter base up here, but in the main base certainly. So what we need to do is now start expanding, or exploding even, the number of outposts quite considerably. And that is where we will be focusing our attention. I'll briefly show you some of what else I've done. I've expanded out the smelting here a bit. I need to get the adjoining wires to bridge this, and then I can copy it across this area. I've had to redo my design, which is not covered by a radar, my design on the speed modules, because tricky little devs have now made it 5 speed 2, whereas it used to be 4, and these ones always were 5, so there was a difference, but there isn't anymore. So I've redone my design and slapped down 21 speed modules, and I'm also going to need productivity modules. I mean, not in quite the same quantity. You see we need 53 at the moment according to that. It's probably not specially accurate. The numbers are jumping around because as things get planted down, more of our unbuilt stuff sort of comes into range, etc, etc, and there are some things that I haven't even put the modules in yet, even in ghost form, so the total number of modules we will need will grow. The other thing is, over here I have moved the project landfill. I think I've done enough landfill around here just for now, although we may well trim this back some more so there's more room for expansion of furnaces. But now the project landfill comes over here and down here. There was a waterway somewhere around here that I've kind of filled up. And then I've moved it to here, and we've pushed the land this way and down here a little bit. We need to keep going, you know, something down here, maybe further, maybe way down here, who knows. I have also nuked a few of the biters back into submission around this area, because we are going to need to expand. We're going to need to expand to more iron as well as copper. I haven't decided exactly which resources we will go for first. That's okay. That one's okay. Coming up this way, that's a good one. So I mean that would be a prime target, but I would need to probably come up about there. And iron in the way still has a tiny bit of life left. It's on its last legs. But as you can see, it's still doing something. The problem with these sites when they get to this point is, I mean, as you can see, we've only got a handful of miners, 6 there. What here, just or under 20, say. They really can't produce ore, and that looks like it's escaping. Escaping. We might need to put another miner there. They can't produce ore fast enough to be meaningful for loading a 8-wagon train. So they end up having these very long waits while they fill up from the remaining ore. Really all you can do is run around and throw speed modules in, but I mean, as you can see, we've got a deficit of at least 2.7 thousand speed modules, so I don't exactly have a whole lot of speed modules to spare. It shouldn't take too long for all of this to get used up. And then of course project landfill will then be in the way. This is the line that's number 3 track, so if we followed number 4 track through, it's kind of going straight through this part of here, and in fact we're drawing from the top down. So project landfill 3.8 million. It's still quite a lot of stone, so possibly I might need to just carry the bottom lines through. And is that one going to make it? I might need to even come down here and just fill out a bit just there, which in fact it wasn't what I was going to do. I was going to set up engineering train, which I have a different take from most people, so you might find that interesting. But this first little bit might not be quite as interesting. It just looks to me like I need a little bit of extra landfill, just so this line here and that's the bottom extent of it. It's probably okay, but I'd like to give it a small margin, so let's grab a little bit of landfill. How's this thing doing? We'll just grab it straight off this train. We can always put it back when we're done. Let's just open that up. There. Maybe get rid of that because that's annoying. And down here as well, let's just make a soft edge to this bit of coal so it's easier to mine it out. Something like that should do. And then we can give project landfill back everything that we have left. There we go. Okay, that was that little detour. Now, yes, my plan for engineering is to basically make an agile engineering train that I can use to quickly extend to lots of new outposts kind of in one go. So rather than having one very large overstuffed train that is trying to do everything, what we'll be doing is planting down a blueprint, and that's because I was clearing biters. A blueprint for you know, all of the, for example, if we're at an ore field, we'll plant down our ore trains, and oh, they're going to use local services to clear that. I'll plant down lots of miners, but I won't have them on me because the train will. The train's purpose will be to, you know, extend to the area and then slop down a supply outpost terminal, and then we'll just tell the supply train to come, and construction robots will complete the building of the outpost. That's something I've done with my last megabase, and it worked pretty well. So I'm thinking especially of some of the new innovations, such as being able to disable stations. It will work considerably better even now that we're on version 15. And in fact, I have already gone ahead and changed the outpost design. Let's just see if it's under radar. I think it is. Over here. Yes, it's under. So we've got some extra logic here to create a local network demand network. Actually, this is interesting. We can't drill into that, can we? No. We can hover over things, but we can't influence them. Well, that's just as well, because that would be an insane long reach, which you notice is not one of my mods that I'm using, and probably never will be. So when we create a demand here, we also have this local network that comes over to this part, and if there's an open demand, it will open up the station. Now, what happens is, when a train comes in, this will switch to a red signal. When that happens, the open command is closed, but the existence of the rail signal being red is enough to still keep the train station open as we require for our supply train, and then when the train leaves, there will no longer be either the open signal because it's been cleared. This is just a memory cell. It will have been cleared by the red signal, and the red signal will no longer be there, so neither way will we be getting the signal to leave the station open. So the station will close, and that then looks like this. So you can see that there is no open supply outpost. So that means that we can create a single demand anywhere with outpost supply being the station name, and our train will react to that one and not randomly go to other outpost supplies. Now, in the past, what you had to do, let's just go back there. In the past, what you had to do was put down, well, you've got one signal here, and if you turn this one off, which is all you could do in version 14, that creates a penalty to using the station, but it doesn't stop trains from trying to use the station. It's based on distance, so on a very large spread out network, one wouldn't be enough, so you could put 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or even 6, like I had to use in my last world, to try and encourage trains to use the right outpost. And clearly that is not an ideal situation. So being able to disable the station themselves is a far better method, although I do understand that apparently there are some issues with that. So, for an engineering train, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to copy the infrastructure I've got here for the supply train, but instead of picking up like this signal to the outside world, we will only have a local demand here, so I can set up a configuration, and if I don't like it, I can just change it, and I don't need to go into each of the carriages and set how many rails, how many power poles and all the rest of it, and change all that around, because that's fiddly, and who wants to do that really in this day and age when you can do it all via combinators. And especially since we already have a working example set up, I will simply make a blueprint of this supply infrastructure down to about there. Now the only thing, and this is just going to be a temporary thing because we're just making one copy, the only thing about this is that I was considering making a larger train instead of a is that the one? Yeah. Whoops, no, not that one. This one. I probably could get rid of that as well actually, but this one, I'm only going to need it this once. Let's just throw it away. I was considering making a larger train, like a 363 instead of a 242, but you can fit a lot, when you get rid of all of the, well, most of the boxes and all of the, I just want to make sure there's no connecting wires between the two. Good, it looks all good so far, so these should be completely separate networks, and we'll just make sure this doesn't have any, it's off. Good. We need a little bit of concrete because, of course, let's have some concrete. It's always a good thing to have. How much? Maybe 200 of that, and a bit of the coloured concrete just for pretty's sake. Not that I'm very good at being pretty, but you know, Let's do that anyway. They should be here momentarily. So yeah, the you actually have a demand in you, do you? Where's that coming from? Oh, you are actually picking up the external signals, it would seem. Not quite sure how. I don't even think those signals are present in the other network. No, they're not. So where are we getting this red signal from? That is slightly weird. Well, I think that will clear. No, maybe not. Wow. I'm really at a loss as to where it got that from. I mean, the only, oh, here. That's where it got it from. Well, we don't need that. Has that got rid of it? Yes, good. And now our automated unloading is working. That's awesome. Okay, phew. This is why I don't like doing combinators on screen, folks. There's a perfect example of exactly why not. It just gets confusing. Way too confusing. Who needs all of that confusion while they are trying to think of something to say while broadcasting? Let's lay down a little bit of pretty. It just seems, I probably don't need a double layer like that. Let's go to a very small brush size if we can. If we have that open, can I shrink it? Yes, I can. There we go. There we go. That's my controller, and this is actually the bit where I have been setting up the contents, the contents of our engineering train. Maybe I could add a little bit over here as well, you know, just for a little bit of consistency's sake. There we go. Let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of that for now. I might just do a little bit of path somewhere for the remaining bit. Now, next step in our plan is probably to get, we've got 4 cargo wagons. Let's get the machine to give me some locomotives. 4 will do. The names of these stations, this will be, what do we call these in the end? Supply unload. So this will be engineering. Engineering. And engineering unload. Just because I'm very imaginative. And do we have those carriages, those locomotives? Yes, we do. Let's whack some locomotives in here. Mainly just to get them fueled, on the track and fueled. Let's clear a little bit of space here. And when we come back, I will probably have extended this into this particular dual lane carriageway. We will need to make a connection between the dual lane carriageway up here and the 4-lane, and be thinking about setting up our next copper. But so I'll do a little bit of the monkey work, and then next episode we'll probably be trying to, I guess, show off this scheme that I have in mind. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.